Hi guys, and hello from the hilltop. I'm Waxahachie Blue, and I want to welcome you to my channel, The Plateau Perfectionist. Today's video is my April 2022 plan with me and my Seckies dot journal, which I purchased off of Amazon before the start of the year. So for those of you who haven't watched any of my other videos, I am doing a 2 for 22 color challenge, which means I pick 2 random colors out of a mug, and those are the 2 colors that I'm allotted to use for the particular month. The 2 colors I ended up using for April is a sunshine yellow dot Kuretake dot marker and a royal blue Crayola Super Tip. And then for writing purposes, I had a Le Pen that was of the same color blue, as well as a black Le Pen. So for theme, I decided to go with this nautical theme, and beach nautical. Beach nautical? Let's go again. It's beach. Let's just go with the beach. So I had ended up putting a poll up on one of my bullet journal groups, and I had many people give feedback on theme suggestions for the 2 colors that I had. I had people suggesting rubber duckies. I had people suggesting a nautical type beach theme because of the royal blue, as well as like blueberry lemonade and other various topics. So I decided to kind of combine those as best as I could physically do, and that is one of the reasons I went with this particular theme. Another thing is a couple of old children's books that I had when I was a kid. Since these 2 particular colors are so vibrant and so primary in their level of color, it kind of brought me back to a couple of children's books that I had from when I was a child that I was read to by my grandmother. So they were even older than I am. They were from like the 60s, 70s. I was born in the late 80s. And since they were older style, they had what I call 2-tone illustrations. So every other page was the only pages that had color to their illustrations, and even then they only had a limited color palette. So a good example is a book that I love called The Dragon Who Could Spit Fire. It's not a very common book. Like I said, it's from the 60s and 70s. But in that particular book, the colored pages had purple and orange as their colors. And they were very vibrant colors, but they were used in such a way that it still brought great life to the imagery. And I kind of wanted to do something similar in that respect with my bullet journal. Yes, nautical is a pretty well-known theme for bullet journaling, but this is how I kind of put my own spin on it. So some other suggestions were like the blueberry lemonade and the rubber duckies, and there is a rubber ducky. I stashed one in here along with a couple other things that were suggested. I will mention that the Ukrainian flag was mentioned due to the current political situation. I personally like to keep politics out of my journal as much as possible. That is just something that I personally choose to do. However, I did add just a small homage. You will probably spot it in later pages. At least it's a subtle homage to the Ukrainian colors. So in the meantime, I'm just adding a little bit of detail to this title page. I had originally wanted to do a cutout where the word April is. However, I oopsed when I was sketching out my calendar spread on the following page, and ended up, after I had gotten it all ready and prepped, I realized I had drawn right where I was going to cut out, and I was going to lose about a day and a half of my 2-page calendar spread. So that ended up not happening. In the meantime, I did decide I had some cardstock scrapbook paper, two-sided scrapbook paper that I really liked the pattern on this particular page, both on the front and the back. So I did end up cutting half of one page out and including this particular little additive, as well as the rubber ducky. But in the meantime, I went ahead and built that and got it inserted into the journal ahead of time, just because it would have made the video too long to have that included. Plus, apparently my battery died and didn't tell me, and so I didn't get it on film. So this is my 2-page calendar spread. Since this particular cutout piece is just so vibrant and energetic, the actual calendar is relatively simple. Just some straight black lines, additional blue for the overhead where the numbers go, and then I did kind of do a little yellow bucket for sand, because I actually had a yellow bucket when I was a kid and we would go to the beach and things of that nature. I had a sandbox out back and I had a yellow bucket. And then these letters, my mom particularly liked the letters. This was probably her favorite part. She's like, that letter L is so me. So as for the boxes I believe are 6 by 5 for the Monday through Friday, because again, I do my calendars from Monday to Sunday instead of Sunday to Saturday. And so the Saturday and Sunday, the weekends, are on the right-hand page. Those are they 6? Yeah, they're 6 by 6. So it's a very, very slight difference in the size. If I hadn't mentioned it, you probably wouldn't have even noticed. But it mathed out better that way. And so as long as I have room to write, that's all I ever really need. And I thought I had actually messed up and added an extra line too long here. It turns out I did not, so I ended up having to fix that, fix my fix, and it is what it is. Excuse me. I did also include just a little bit of the added yellow marker towards the end to do I wouldn't call it a drop shadow per se. I think I would just call it an outline, but it, add just a little bit extra yellow, because this is a very blue dominant page, and I wanted to make sure that the color ratio was a little more evened out. Alrighty, I'm gonna let this particular spread finish, and then we'll get on to the next spread. So this particular spread is kind of a play on the mood tracker. I've said it in several videos, I am not an actual huge fan of mood trackers. I prefer alternative style mood trackers. So for example, in March, I did a word of a day. So it was just instead of a mood tracker, I just wrote one word that kind of explained how my day went, and I tried not to double up on words. So for this particular spread, I decided to do a daily inspiration a day. So I love a good old-fashioned inspirational quote or a funny quote or whatever I can think of. And so I decided to do 3 columns here. So I will do one just simple little quote or inspiration for the day, and just to kind of keep me motivated. I've noticed that when I have motivation, I love quote pages, I really do. It's just they kind of take up extra space and all that good stuff. So I figured I'd just make a spot in my journal for the month where I can, it's a designated place for them. And then since I had that big space in the corner, I thought about doing another rubber ducky, but I was lazy, so I just did a sun. Alrighty, so for the next spread, I believe, what was it again? Yes. The habit tracker and the first half of the budget. Okay, so I apparently need a habit tracker. I have a habit tracker for the month of January and the month of March. and lo and behold, when I have a habit tracker, apparently I am more accountable on actually doing the habits. I didn't have one for February, and I fell off the wagon hard when it comes to keeping up with my yoga. And to be fair, I haven't done any yoga in the entire month of March. But all of the other ones, such as keeping up with my Spanish lessons and making sure that I get my teethies brushed, which is a personal long-term goal for this particular year. Don't get me started. I have issues with remembering to brush my freaking teeth. So yeah, I decided I needed a habit tracker for this month, and that is where this particular spread came around. So again, one of the suggestions for the month of April was like blueberry lemonade, and I found an inspiration picture on Pinterest, and so I just kind of did a rough sketch of it. It's supposed to be a piece of lemon. It kind of looks more like a slice of orange, but it's supposed to be a piece of lemon. Which coincidentally, if you ever have the opportunity, if you just freeze fresh blueberries and use them as ice cubes for your lemonade, it actually makes for a pretty good little frozen treat in your. You've heard of people doing frozen grapes and wine to keep it cold. Well, why not do frozen blueberries in your lemonade? Works just good. I ended up making more boxes than I actually ended up labeling, and that's totally fine. If I end up thinking of something that I want to track as a habit, I have the extra space to do so. But in the meantime, my habits are to make sure I get the plants watered, because it is the season to start my garden at home, as well as I need to kind of track how often I am watering my office plants. So I have O plant, which is office plants, H plant, which is house plants, and then of course A teeth and P teeth, which is brushing my teeth in the morning and brushing my teeth in the afternoon, along with a couple other ones that I am trying to keep better tabs on. As for my budget tracker, I do the same budget tracker just about every single month. This one I decided to split and do on a front and back, which, to be honest, since it's a rolling total style, it does work that way, but I did it for a particular reason. So, which I'll get to. So here I'm just doing some added lines, which help my brain at least kind of keep track of which line I am writing on, without having to draw a bunch of lines. It's easier just to keep it a color and go that way. And again, the lovely little swirly sun made an appearance. I say a lot. My apologies, but I do. Okay, so this is the second half of the budget, and then the right hand page will actually remain blank throughout this particular video. If you look real close, it has the word Excel written on it. That is because I am trying to get back into the habit of printing out an Excel spreadsheet. Backtrack story here. It comes in 3, 2, 1. Back when I first started bullet journaling, one of the reasons I did bullet journaling was to keep a better running record of my spending. So I created an Excel spreadsheet that I would put in my journal on a designated page next to my rolling total budget tracker to help keep a visual track of, has the phone bill been paid? Has this been paid? Was there a change in price? What day exactly did I get gas, and how much did I spend on it? Things of that nature. So I decided to bring that back. I have it. I just haven't inserted it yet, but that is what will go there. In the meantime, weeklies. So this particular weekly actually took me 3 minutes to draw. It really did. Yeah, I scribbled a sun. The rays are what separates the days, and the end. It was so simple. It took me less than 5 minutes to draw this, and that's not even double timed. That's legit time. If it has 10 days, that's because I do my weeklies month to month, so that includes the Friday and Saturday, which is technically its own first week, but I didn't want to give it its own page, so it is included here. Ding, hit my fingers on my lamp. I did include some birds, because birds. Ah, yes. This particular spread, I say that a lot, this particular spread week 2 is a throwback to my minimalist March. So the actual days are on the left-hand page, and then I have this pretty picture. When I was looking for nautical beach themed pictures, I loved the yellow umbrella concept, and I was kind of stuck between these two different ones. So these chairs are slightly different from the chairs on my first page in their design. They are a lot more detailed, as you can tell from all of the detail work. But anyway, I was kind of torn between these two particular pictures, and I said, you know what, I want to include them both. I enjoy structural drawings such as the 3D-ness of the design of these chairs. Are they perfect? Heck no. But I enjoyed sketching them out. I enjoyed figuring out, this piece connects to this piece, and this is where the fabric is folded over and stapled on the beach chair, and this is how, and if it wasn't perfect, I ended up draping a towel over it. But it was still great fun to draw, and I do enjoy drawing these kinds of structural stuffs, but adding my own scribble art style to it, which you can kind of see as I color both the backs of the chairs as well as the water and the yellow umbrella. So this is me. This is how I draw. This is how I particularly enjoy it. And I thought about doing just stripes on it, but I didn't like the umbrella as it was, so I just I fixed it. And I actually think it looked much better once I filled it all in. And I did add the black lines over it. I will say the dot markers and the lapins don't always agree. They will smear just a little bit. They don't do a horrible job, as you could tell from where it went over the black on the chairs, but either way, I didn't want to risk smudge lines on those lines on the umbrella, so that's why I added them second. And I mean, I think this particular picture came out really, really nice. I didn't necessarily add the extra yellow lines to the sky, which I probably should have, and I may go back and do later, but scribble art for the win. It is what it is, and I think it's beautiful. In the meantime, I just went ahead and did the simple week 2. I really enjoy having the numbers colored and then writing over in black the day of the week, and that kind of continued on as a theme throughout all of my weeklies. But in the meantime, yeah, just keep it simple. Okay, so this is week 3. This one I had some fun with. So yes, I still got to draw. I still got to, have a little bit of here, a little bit there. I went ahead and did this page first, and then I went over to the second page because I thought about it, and I was like, nah, I'll just do it this way. I don't really know where this was inspired from. This right off the cuff, it just kind of came out of my head. Some of my weeklies are honestly inspired by art that I find on Pinterest or I find on Instagram, and usually if I can, I will I'll say where I got the inspiration from. No, this was just out of my head. I didn't quite know what I wanted to do, so I improvised and I sketched it out. So it's a couple of surfboards and some boxes to write my information in for the week. And then the other page they're supposed to be beach towels. And I actually think they came out really nice. But in the meantime, hopefully you can kind of see one of the particular surfboards, Ukrainian colors. Yeah. And I did end up writing the word Ukraine kind of next to the surfboard just because, like I said, I don't particularly like to put politics into my spreads, but to be honest, this felt right, and so that is where I put it. And just keep on riding the waves, Ukraine. You can do it. Beach towels. I know, total jump. I'm so sorry. But yeah, since I did the boxes in black on the left page, I ended up doing the beach towels in blue just to kind of change it up a little bit. And there you go. Just a simple spread. I think they looked great, and I'll go ahead and just enjoy the music until we get to the next one. Okay, of all the weeklies, I think this one is officially my favorite. I've seen the little like center column style done. I think everybody's seen it done at least once. And that's all fine and good. This was inspired by something I found on Pinterest. I can't remember where I found it, but just Google weeklies in Pinterest and you can probably see something very similar to this style. There's only 6 days in this particular week because that's how the month ends. So it all looked beautifully symmetrical. And then I also had this little extra space here at the bottom to kind of just do a little quote, collect moments, not things. But the thing I think I was most proud of is one of these shells turned out fabulous. And then I played with it. This particular, other than the general sketch of what shells and things I wanted to be in this suede column, I didn't plan on any of the colors, except for the bubbles. The bubbles were going to be blue. But this particular nautical spiral, it's not a conch. I can't think. That particular shell was probably my favorite shell out of all of the ones on this particular spread. But other than that, I was right off the cuff. I just kind of grabbed a color. I liked this, did that, and voila. When it was all said and done, it came out beautiful. And so whenever it comes to art like this, play with it. Have fun. Sketch. It's your bullet journal. Make it what you want of it. And so I had 2 colors to work with. And I still think it all came out with a beautifully cohesive look. And just, I liked this spread so much. In case you were curious, I think those are supposed to be the inside of sea urchins, or like the underside of it. I really don't know. I saw them on something, and I can't remember what I saw them on. And I was like, you know what? I want to put those in my journal. Also, side note, I actually never finished the starfish until I was already turned off the camera, so you'll see it in the flip through finished. But in the meantime, I forgot to film finishing the starfish. Sorry, little starfish. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for sitting here and watching my bullet journal. I want to say that. Thank you for sitting here and enjoying my artwork. I don't do this for money. I do this for fun. I do this because it's a challenge. That's why it's called 2 for 22 challenge. It's a way to kind of get myself out of my usual or do my personal spin on different types of art. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Please enjoy the flip through. Like, subscribe, comment if you feel inclined. I am also on Instagram by the same name, The Plateau Perfectionist, with underscores in between each word. Or I am also on Facebook, same thing, but minus the underscores. Like I said, I'll add an Excel spreadsheet to this particular one later. But and I did add the tabby doos on the sides. I forgot to film that. Oh well. But in the meantime, I want you to enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next month. Here's drawing. So the next month's colors are number 40, which means it's a Crayola Super Tip, and then I think it was 48. Yes, 48, which is also a Crayola Super Tip. So I believe it was an olive green and kind of a baby blue, but you'll have to see what I end up coming up with for them next month. Okay? In the meantime, thanks again. Bye.